What's up guys, back with another video for you today. Today's video I'm going to show you how to regear a Raptor 700. This knowledge can go for just about any motorcycle though. What's up guys? I do a lot of how-tos and reviews over here, so if you're new here, go ahead and smash that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with all the future projects that I do. Okay guys, so this is my Raptor I'll be working on here. If you guys want to see a whole review done on this bike, just drop down in the comments below and I'll answer any questions you got. Maybe we'll do a whole video on it. I got quite a bit done to it. But today's video we're going to be showing you how to change the front sprocket. I have a 14 tooth sprocket on here now. I'm going to change it to a 13 tooth front sprocket because the issue with this bike is it pulls very good. Everything's really good on it, but fifth gear through the sand with these big pedals does not like to pull. It'll get about halfway through fifth gear before it starts shitting out on itself. So we're going to drop the front tooth sprocket to a 13 and we should be able to gain enough low end torque to power through fifth gear. So jump right into this here. I'm just changing the front sprocket. I'm not going to mess with the chain or the rear sprocket, which if you do this you should always do it as a pair. However, this chain's already pretty worn out, so I'm just going to change the front sprocket. Okay, if you can see on here, if I can get this camera to focus, there is a flare nut on here that helps keep this sprocket in place, keeps that nut from backing out. So first off, you're going to want to go ahead and take this flare nut back. Okay, so to take this flare nut back, just get yourself a punch, or chisel here, and just kind of hammer it open a little bit. Get it up out of the way. I like to get a flathead type punch and just flatten her back. You don't need to smash it all the way back, just enough so that you can get this nut off. This is going to be a 36mm nut, and sometimes it can be pretty tight. So if your bike still has a parking brake on it, go ahead and set that now. This will help you out. You won't need somebody to sit back here and hold the brake for you. So let's go ahead and get this sucker busted off. Just get that broken loose. This chain's already pretty loose, so I could probably pull this off. Yeah, come right off. And since I'm switching to a smaller sprocket, I can probably do this without having to do any chain tensioning to take it off. When you put it back on with the smaller sprocket, obviously you're going to need to tighten the chain up. I'll go ahead and show you how to do that. I'm going to be changing to a Renthal front 13 tooth front sprocket. Let's see if we can get that into focus for you. There's the part number if you're wondering what it is. This is a grooved one. I couldn't find a non-grooved one. The grooved, when I talk about groove, is these little pieces right here inside the teeth. They help keep mud and dirt and stuff like that. I only ride this bike in the dunes, so I don't know if I actually really need that. It probably would have been better off with more surface area on the tooth right here. But let's go ahead and see if we can get this sucker on. Like a glove. Alright, and then set your flare nut back on. And as you can see, this nut's grooved. Make sure that you put it back on the right groove. Okay, so you should want to tighten this thing to about 61 foot-pounds, I think is what it calls for. I've been turning wrenches my whole life, so I can have a pretty good feel for what 60 foot-pounds feels like. So I'm not going to use one, plus I don't have the adapter for my ratchet. So I'm using one of these big old gigantic 36mm sockets, so I don't have an adapter to go to my actual torque wrench. And that's pretty much it for that. You're going to want to go ahead and flare this back out. So I'm going to reposition the bike so that I can get a screwdriver under here and bend this. Okay, so hopefully I can get this in focus for you. One of these, you know, you probably won't be able to get lined up. The other one, at least one of them you should have lined up. And just kind of try to get your screwdriver in there and bend the flare back down. Go ahead and grab a punch and just kind of flatten her out here. This is gonna stop it from backing the nut off if you didn't have your torque right or whatever. This will keep the nut in place. And that's pretty much that. Now we'll go ahead and show you how to adjust the chain. Okay, so here we're at the back of the bike. If you look back here on the swing arm, you have these Allen bolts here. And you can see in the bottom that it's actually clamped together here. What's happening is it's got like a cam in here, a cam with like a lobe type deal. So you go ahead and loosen these, and it'll let you go ahead and rotate this on the cam, and that'll either slack your chain or tighten your chain. Alright, so they make a special spanner wrench for this. As you can see, there's a hole here, and there's another one probably on the back side there, but they make a spanner wrench for this. You don't absolutely need this. You can get away with some really big channel locks. That's what I've always done anyways. And to keep from marring it, just go ahead and place a towel over it. These things aren't incredibly tight or anything, so get your towel over it and just rotate it. As you can see, the chain will tighten up. And that's probably right about where I want to be on this. Go ahead and sit on your bike. Feel the chain tension, because every time you hit a bump and the suspension squeezes out, this is going to get tighter. So you want to find the happy medium there. Generally about a couple fingers, if you can get here, you're good. And this is feeling pretty good for me right now, so I'm going to go ahead and sit on it and test it out. And once you're happy with where your chain tightness is at, go ahead and just tighten these back up. And I'm sure these have a specific torque spec, but just snug them up. I mean, you are tightening on aluminum, so don't snug too tight. And just keep double checking each one, because as you tighten one, the next one's going to loosen up a little bit. So just give them equal torque. I said don't be crazy on these. This is aluminum. And that should do it. Well guys, if you enjoyed this video or learned anything from it, or like I said, if you want to see a review on this bike, go ahead and drop down in the comments below. If you got any questions, throw them in there, answer everybody's question. Until then, I appreciate you guys watching.